how did I take these thrift store found vases, turn them into this pink hot mess to give them a pottery look?
Hi guys, it's Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehab. I got a flip for you today. A couple vases and some candlesticks, and I thought, oh my gosh, I want to see if I can make these look, they're sort of pottery because they're manufactured pieces. There's nothing fancy about them. So I just kind of wanted to share my vision of what I would do to these. They're two vases and a heavy, large set of candlesticks, and how I would make them pottery and fit them into my own decor.
So both of these pieces are manufactured vases, so I am so super excited. The shape of them just drew me right in, though I'm not a fan of the color, and it does have a little bit of texture. When I was looking for one more vase, I just could not find another one, but I stumbled across this pair of candlesticks, and oh, are they already beautiful in themselves. And as I can see, since the Goodwill sticker's next to the garage sale sticker, yep, I don't feel bad painting over this set. Can you see how massive these candlesticks are? And they are super heavy. So time to just get the tags off and get them all nice and clean. There's not a lot to clean here, so I'm just going to take Superclean on a rag and get these all wiped down, so I know that my paint is going to adhere properly. And see, these are just manufactured piece made in China. And then the other one I think is a Target Threshold brand. So no worries here of painting over them. So after getting them all cleaned up and letting them dry completely, I'm going in and I'm going to be spraying these with some Rust-Oleum in the flat black, just the paint and primer. That way the paint, the texture that I'm going to be adding onto them, it has something to stick to. The thing about using a flat spray is you can tell when it's dry because it's not shiny anymore. Now all my pieces are dry. So now my next step is to use the DRYDex joint compound. This is the pink that turns white. That way I know that it's dry. So I have some gloves on for some added texture. So I'm just basically, I'm just going to be taking my hands and then just wiping this on, just adding texture. You can do it whatever your pattern you want. If you want dashes, you want blots. I'm just going to go with my fingers and go around the vessel itself. So this is a fun little project because there's just so many ideas in one's head that you can do. So you just do what's pleasing to you if you want to try this at home. So for me, I'm just going around with my fingers, just spreading out this joint compound. Now that I have it applied to all 4 pieces, I'm just going to walk away and let it dry overnight for that pink to turn white. Would you just look at all that amazing texture? I guess we need feel-o-vision here so you could feel it. Oh my gosh, I do love the chalk paint, doing that with baking soda and the texture paint, but this just took it to another level. So, yep, I'm going to start out with my safe zone of the mineral paint that I've used before on my crockery. I wasn't really sure how to apply it. I wasn't sure if the joint compound would start coming off because it's not sealed. So I started off with my smaller brush at first, and I'm like, oh my gosh, by dabbing this on, I'm going to be here all day. So I quickly changed over to my Annie Sloan chalk brush and then just went to town on it, deciding that now I don't need to dab it on. I think if it'll smooth down that texture if it takes anything, but there's a lot of texture to give on this. So for my next vase, I'm going to go in with some fawn. Now, I've never used the fawn before, but when I was looking for some tannish colors, and we are still blessed at our Walmart, we still have all the Waverly line, and it's fully stocked, guys. I don't know what's going on, but so I'm going to test this one out, and this is a little bit more browner, not as quite of a lighter cementy tan color. So, yep, we're testing this all out. This is the fun of crafting. So next up are these chunky, heavy candlesticks. I don't know, maybe they're a terracotta. I don't know. I'm going to have to end up taking that bottom thing off. It's all wonky, as you can see. I'll deal with that later. I'm in the painting mood right now. So I'm going to try black on these and try to build up some color out. So I'm just going to go in with the Waverly ink on these. Now that I got all 4 pieces painted, I'm going to walk away and let that first layer of chalk paint dry. I got out quite the arsenal of chalk paints, poured them into a bowl. To apply it, I'm going to be using just paper towel, nothing fancy, no gloves on here. So some of the tutorials I watched on Pinterest showed this dabbing technique, but I'm like, oh, that's really getting a lot of paint in areas, but that's it's a learning technique. If I love this, I'll do it again and find some more of these vessels to do. But yep, just going to go in and dab on this one and see how that works. So I'm starting off right with the dark truffle color in the Waverly. I think you can do this with any paints, maybe. I don't know. I think the chalk paints will all blend because I'm going to be layering paint over paint over paint over paint, and then waxes, and they're all the Waverly, and they're all a chalk anyway. So I'm not sure if it is the same for acrylic paints or not, but so this is what I'm doing. And just like a dry brush paintbrush technique, I'm doing a dry technique with this paper towel also. I'm just putting a little bit of paint on, wiping it off the side of the bowl, because the first ones I didn't, and you could see how dark those really got. So just wiping the minimal, just letting it dab. So next up, I'm doing color right after color. I'm not stopping in between. This is a continual process here just to get all these colors to blend. So I'm moving on to the Waverly in the fawn color. So I'm doing that same thing, a little bit of paint on that paper towel, and then just doing it all over the vase. My third paint color is going to be the Antique Wax by Waverly. So this one I'm not doing that dabbing technique. Now I'm doing more of a rubbing, letting that grab onto all that texture that joint compound left behind. Just trying to blend all this in together. Right now, to me, it kind of looks like a beehive. I am doing that same thing where there's just a little bit of paint on there. I'm definitely having a lot of fun. This is definitely one of those DIYs that you just keep doing it until you love it, till you're pleasing to your eyes. So I'm going to finish it off with blending it all together with some of the Waverly white wax. Now this is going to be a little bit more blendy. It's probably going to take a little bit and smooth down where it really looks like I just dabbed paint on, well, which is what I did. But this should tie it all together with this white wax. So for my fawn color, I'm going in right with the truffle. I'm going to start right off at that bottom. On this one, I'm not going to dab this time. I found that kind of hard to blend. It's probably just 2 different looks. So for this one, I'm going to let my wet paper towel that I've dried a lot of it off, or wiped a lot of it off, and just let it hit the texture that the joint compound has left behind. Now for my next color choice, I'm going in with that mineral color. So going to do the same thing, just a little bit of paint on that paper towel and just let it kind of like you're doing a dry brush technique with the paintbrush. You're just doing it with the paper towel and just letting that hit. Now I know that's really going to stand out because that's really light compared to these other 2 colors. So I'll just go in really gingerly. Now my next color is going to be that antiquing wax yet again. I'm having a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, pottery itself is a lot of fun, but being able to create your own masterpiece like this, you just keep doing it until you like it. You can, it's just paint over paint, and it's actually paint over chalk paint. So the more you put on, the more you can take off if you want. I'm going to complete my look, finishing it up with the Blendy of the White Wax by Waverly. So though I didn't find another another vase, I did run across these candlesticks that I thought, hey, you know what, let's give them a try. So far they're just painted that black, the black ink, and then the dupe that I saw on Pinterest and a TikTok was that they had taken other shades of grays and put it over the top of that. So that is what I'm going to attempt next. So I've got 3 different grayish. One I could not find. The pavement color is an apple barrel paint. I'm not going to worry about adding anything to make it into a chalk paint. I'm just layering paint over paint. So I'm going to start off with the lightest first, and we'll see how that goes, which is the Steel Paint by Waverly. So next up, I'm going to use the Elephant color by the Waverly Chalk Line 2s. But the thing that I am starting to notice, even with that steel, and as I'm adding this on, I don't know if the paint is starting to, because I didn't seal that black in, all of a sudden it seems like the steel paint is starting to disappear. So as I'm working on this, I'm kind of noticing that, but I'm still in my process, so I'm going to keep on going. So my next up is the Pavement by Apple Barrel. So I'm just going to, same thing, just wad up that paper towel, put a little bit of it on, wipe a lot of it off, and then just go to town, kind of brushing it on, letting it hit all that texture, all those raised areas of this candlestick. So maybe I shouldn't have added the pavement, or maybe I should have stopped after the 2 colors, but every site that I saw was applying 3 colors over the original paint. But it covered it all up, it blended it. So you know what I always say on my channel, keep doing something till you like it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to make them look a little bit more like that vase color. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the fawn and the mineral and see if I can add a little bit more so you can see that textured, just to make it look like it was more of a homemade piece. I guess the black was okay, and maybe I should have went in. I don't know. This was one of those mixed results, or maybe I should have dabbed this one. But you're already in the process of working on it, and as you're editing the video, you're thinking, well, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Well, you can't ever go back in time, but you can add more paint. So drop me a comment below, which one did you like? Should I have left it alone? So now I need to get these sealed in, and I'm just going to go in with some Rust-Oleum in the clear coat in the matte finish to seal this in, and I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats on this because that's a lot of paint on there. So I don't think anybody will put water in these, but just in case, I want to make sure that paint is good and sealed on there. So I have to say that I absolutely love how these turned out. This is my basement family room on our newly coffee table that we just painted and kept for ourselves. And oh my gosh, look at how well these earth tones, these colors all go with my crockery collection. So for me, I am happy that I added the other lighter colors in, those brownish colors, because look, it definitely goes with my decor in my living room. And I absolutely love how these turned out. Though I'll probably play with them a little bit to see what the best little setting is, but for right now, they're right here in this vignette.
Okay, what do you think of my vases, dupes, vessels, however you want to say it, in the candlesticks? I absolutely love the vases, and after I worked on the candlesticks a little bit more, I did end up loving them. Maybe it was, I don't know. Sometimes when you're trying to copy something else that somebody's doing, sometimes I feel like there's a miscommunication. So yeah, but like I always say, just keep doing something till you love it. It's only paint. So I do love the candlesticks now, and I absolutely love the vases. I'm not sure if there's something I'm going to be reselling or keeping myself, because I absolutely love them. So we will see how it goes. Or, you know, that's the fun with flipping items that and having a booth to resell them, is you can use them for a little while in your own decor. And then when you're like, I'm onto something else, you can sell them. So thanks for watching, guys. And if you're part of my YouTube family, like always, thank you so much. And remember to give me a like and a quick comment. And if you're new and checking out this content for the first time, just hit that subscription button and along with the notification bell if you liked what you saw. And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.